Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 2, Episode 8, Matter of Honor. So far in the series, this is, I think, the second Klingon-centric episode we've had so far. And it's a good one. It's a really, really well-done episode. Now, keep in mind, the series, at least this so far as we are into the series, came out before the 6th movie. So we don't really know what's going on with the Federation and the Klingon Empire. Q said that the Federation defeated them. So, like, we, having seen the 6th movie, know that that's not quite accurate, but just kind of keep that in mind. We also know that Worf is the first Klingon in Starfleet. So this episode is all about them wanting a human to kind of test it out. And so Riker becomes the commander temporarily on a Klingon vessel. And it's a really good episode. It's really, really well done. So the Klingon language, Klingonese, came out in the first movie, the motion picture. All through the original series, they only ever spoke English. And then when the first movie came out, it's like the opening scene, we actually have subtitles and they're speaking their language. So in this episode, this is the first episode of Star Trek ever to actually have aliens conversing in their natural language and actually have subtitles at the bottom. And then they kind of make their way out of it and they say, speak the English language. But it's pretty interesting. And then from here on, not always, but we see that a lot in other episodes of Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, where we'll start to get subtitles there at the bottom of their language. This is also the second Benzite that we've seen. The first one was in Coming of Age, where Wesley meets him. And it's kind of interesting because Wesley says, like, oh, you're the first Benzite to join the Academy. And then when we see this one, I forgot their names, I'm sorry. When we see this one, Wesley's like, you shouldn't, like, how did you graduate the Academy already? And he's like, oh, no, that's not me. That's somebody else from my, like, species or somewhere else in their world, the hemisphere or whatever. So if the first one from Coming of Age was the first in the Academy, how did this one already get to Starfleet? So that's kind of a weird little thing for me. And they're played by the same actor, so it's kind of supposed to be like this ambiguous, like they all kind of look the same thing going on. And they even say that, like Wesley says, if you all look the same, how do you tell each other apart? He's like, we just do. But now I want to know, like, how did this guy graduate so quickly? Overall, like, I really enjoy this episode. I think this is a really good episode. Like I said, in season 1, you could clearly tell that they did not know what to do with Worf and the Klingon culture. And as the series progresses, we get more and more of that. And I think this episode is really, really good. And it shows a lot of the Klingon culture. Because this introduces their food, like gak, which also becomes more popular throughout the series. And we see that a lot more. But yeah, overall, I really like this episode. For those who have seen this episode, what do you guys think about, like, the Klingon culture in general and how far it has evolved from the original series to where we're at now, especially in Discovery? Like, holy shit, like, Discovery Klingon culture is out of this world. See what I did there? So let me know what you guys think about how we've seen the Klingon culture developing throughout the series and throughout the years. Go ahead and let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time for probably one of the most famous and best episodes of the entire series, Measure of a Man.